Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. And Weather in 5 is brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware, Long Island's largest rock salt provider. They have rock salt, straight salt bags, geomelt, biomelt, mulch, recycling, topsoil, gravel, and so much more. And no matter what the size of your fleet is, or maybe you're just one person who needs some new shovels for the upcoming winter or some bags of salt, Omni True Value Hardware will meet your needs, serving the Long Island and New York City area. 1226 North Wellwood Avenue, West Babylon, New York. 631-756-1125, or go to the website omnitruevalue.com for more information. We need a change in air mass, and we're going to finally get one. In the meantime, while we've been sitting in this sort of stagnant and warm air mass that pretty much means every day is the same, nights and early morning hours with low clouds and fog. Some places break out into full sunshine during the mid morning to afternoon hours. Other places have low clouds all day, and every few places struggle with everything in between. It's been much busier in the west, and of course we have had some snow up in the northern plains and also into the northwestern parts of the Great Lakes, back over into the northern Rockies, and yet another system is going to be coming out, and this is why you see winter storm warnings up from Washington State east into Montana, and winter storm watches from southeastern Montana down into Nebraska. All of that's been going on because of the structure of the jet stream pattern that we've had across the United States. And this has been particularly driven by Hurricane Epsilon, which you see on the above my head right there, just now passing east of Bermuda, and passing east of Bermuda by a fair distance, not even close. It's actually more east-northeast of Bermuda at this point. And the formation of Epsilon actually wound up altering the entire weather pattern across the United States for this week, because we were looking at a cold upper trough swinging into the eastern part of the United States. But what's happened is the fact that with Epsilon there, it caused a strengthening upper high to build right along the Atlantic seaboard, and that kind of kept the hurricane in place. And that means that the active jet stream pattern that you see out to the west, where all the clouds are moving from west to east, well, it never was able to come eastward. Now, we are going to see that jet stream pattern break down over the next couple of days. Actually, that breakdown process has already started. Epsilon will turn to the northeast, and then, as you see on this Canadian view, all this action pushes eastward. It doesn't push enough so that we would get into a regular stretch of clouds and rain. But on the other hand, it will come east just enough to start allowing cold fronts to come through. And that first one's going to be coming through during tomorrow. And there won't be much with that front, by the way. If you look at the radar from this morning, we see showers from northern Michigan down into Oklahoma, and that area is sliding to the east. There's nothing going on in the eastern part of the U.S. except for some showers on the northernmost end in northern Maine, and you see them there, and some showers off the North Carolina coast and also down off parts of Florida. That really is it. And then you have the next system coming into the Pacific Northwest, which is going to be the next player with respect to the rain that's going into the Northwest and snow up into the northern Rockies and eventually into the northern plains. So for the rest of today, it's pretty much a wash, rinse, repeat of the last several days, with this high along the East Coast, very warm, sticky air up and down the eastern seaboard. There is a bit of a stationary front through New England along I-90. It's keeping it a bit cooler up in northern New England, 40s and 50s, but everybody else, it's going to be running up into the 70s again today. And then, of course, you have this very cold air with this high coming down into Montana, and that cold air is pushed down into Colorado and even down into North Texas. But with the upper air jet stream the way it is, that's where all of that is going. Here's the 7-day rainfall, and the Weather Prediction Center actually showing maybe a bit more activity from the standpoint of rain next week, because I really don't see anything happening here through the weekend. But we're looking at maybe 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches, with perhaps a few locally higher amounts from northeast Virginia on up to southern New England. Big rains for the southern plains into the middle Mississippi Valley and even into the Ohio Valley, and also for southernmost Florida, seeing some big rains there. So our upper ridge, as we indicated, breaks down. Just we're going to roll it back here just a bit and go back to Wednesday when we had this, strong upper high right in here. You see it there, sort of cradling Epsilon, which is there. There's your flow from the trough to the northwest that is moving weather systems along. Cold fronts make it to just about here, and that's it. And they weaken as they get there anyway. You really have to go pretty far back to the west to get into the truly cool, dry air. And of course, with that frontal boundary there, we have seen some rain this week up in upstate New York, western New York, northwestern PA, back into Ohio. That has calmed down a bit today. When this next weather front goes by, you're going to see some showers late today and tonight, but it really won't amount to too much. Those showers are going to fall apart before they reach the East Coast. And there you go. You see the upper high is gone. There's still a bit of a ridge there in the east for the early part of next week, but gradually later next week, we start to see that northern jet take over. And I think that opens up the opportunity for some rain. So just to carry you through the weekend, here's what we're looking at. Certainly today, as we said, it's a wash, rinse, repeat scenario of the last couple of days. Tomorrow morning, cold front comes on through. I guess there's an outside chance there could be a sprinkle with it. Then winds are going to turn to the north. Clouds tomorrow may stubbornly give way to a few breaks of sun from west to east during Saturday afternoon. Some places are going to have a tough time, but it should clear out tomorrow night. By Sunday morning, we're going to be down in the upper 30s to mid 40s just about everywhere. We see some rain there Sunday morning. The old frontal boundary is going to stall to the south from Delaware down into Virginia. And it does, at least on the GFS model, want to push that rain northward. I'm not so sure that that's going to be the case. When we look at some of the other models, they continue to remain rather dry for Sunday. Take a look at the GFS model, the NAM model, for example, has next to nothing here with that high to the north holding firm. And then some showers maybe late Sunday night into Monday morning before weather conditions improve a little bit as we go to later Monday and marching through next week. Some activity will start to try to come out, but we may have to wait. There'll be a chance for some rain or showers on Tuesday, and again Tuesday night into Wednesday, and perhaps something a bit more important toward the end of next week regarding rain. And it's also going to be cooler next week. And by the way, Sunday's highs, they're not getting out of the 50s. So get ready for a cool autumn day. A little bit still on the warm side tomorrow, upper 60s to low 70s from northeast Virginia to southern New England. But Sunday, not getting out of the 50s. So that's pretty much it for Weather in 5. No Joe and Joe Weather Show tonight. We'll be back on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. And that pretty much wraps it up. Don't forget, Weather in 5 brought to you by our new sponsor, Omni True Value Hardware, Long Island's largest rock salt provider, serving Long Island and the tri-state area. 631-756-1125. Have a great weekend, folks.